Richardson up ahead. Look out. Hello. Amari Stoudemire elevates and detonates.
Always wanted to do that. Always wanted to do a dramatic eyeglasses removal and that whole deal. Oh no. Okay, so I just saw that. Technical changes out of the gate. Kev, we got to renew our Twitter account to get back on Twitter. So
okay.
So I'm gonna be working on that in the background today. That's a great reminder to pay your bills on time. But I'm Jake, aka Fallen Founder, and Kev, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so last week I wasn't on time. I'm on time now, but yeah, I'm here.
You were on time, and I was late. That's fair. Yes.
Yeah. Hey guys, Plantiers. My daughter is crying on me right now because she's on my Facebook when she's supposed to be on YouTube. Actually, she's supposed to be in bed, but I don't know what she's doing. Anyway, so we're back, and I thought we were not gonna have any show today because we didn't have anything set on YouTube. But Jake just woke me up and said, "Hey, where are you? We're going live today." So there we go. Always a fun time being here. Bruce is away at the moment. He'll be back next week, I believe. So, it's just the two of us, just like the old times.
Absolutely.
And if you're hearing my daughter cry, so I'm gonna go off the screen for a moment.
All right. Well, so that brings us back to just say, I appreciate you hanging in there with us, Planeteers. I understand it's not ideal. We'll continue to get that fixed in the background. As you mentioned, Bruce is out today. He is checking out the Red Bull snowboarding thing in Boston. And let's be honest, I'm sure just like us, he wants to be wherever he is, he wants to be as far away from the Phoenix Suns team as he possibly can. Because why wouldn't you? We have one game to talk about this week. It's against the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, exactly. Not just the Spurs, the Wemby-less Spurs, without their top rebounder, without their top scorer, without their top shot blocker, without their top, I think he's maybe top two in steals. I think Paul still led the team in steals up until recently.
But none of that.
Yes, they were without all of that game-changing ability. This guy is going to be a future, if he can stay healthy, MVP level candidate. I look at him as a potential Giannis type player, a Luka Doncic type player, where you're obviously going to be building your team around players like Wemby. And it's just amazing to see the Suns completely healthy for once. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, all available this game. And the Suns dropped it 109-120. We played against, I didn't even know he had signed a contract. But yeah, let me take a quick look. Welcome back, Bismack Biyombo, to the league, where you've played in 3 games this year for the Spurs, including 25 seconds in a loss against Boston before you put in over 16 minutes in a start against the Phoenix Suns, where you collected 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Return of the Mac, indeed. This was, Kevin. I'm going to ask you this. Here's my first question. I think for this show, as we continue to try and drag it out, so I can get that Twitter line back up. But here we go.
Richard, what's happening?
what's happening, Kevin, with this Suns team? We lost this game in impressive fashion, 120 to 109. There's so much we're going to talk about, kind of breaking down just the decisions that went into this game. And I guess the first question I have for you, Kevin, we talked a little bit about it last week. Have you shifted your opinion on firing Coach Bud?
I'm still on 50-50 on that. I don't know if you want to fire another coach. Like,
and don't worry, we're on live on Twitter now. Boom!
Oh, there we go.
Got it fixed. That's right. On the fly, baby.
I'm still 50-50
No.
on that.
No. Explain yourself, sir. Michael's here in the chat, longtime listener and viewer. Explain
Hey,
this.
Michael.
Explain to Michael why you cannot commit. This is like when you're dating somebody and you're like, I don't know if it's working out, but I don't want to leave either. So maybe we'll just keep it rolling for another weekend. Let me ask you this. I'm not saying he needs to be fired immediately, but barring some sort of renaissance or some shocking improvement that takes us into the playoffs, if we continue at this pace, he's done, right? You eat that loss of money and let him retire, a multi-millionaire in Scottsdale.
I'd like to believe so, that he's gone if there are no improvements the second half of the season. And who's out there? I read the tweet that probably you have Mike Brown out there.
Yeah. Multiple-time coach of the year. Multiple-time fired coach, too.
For sure.
I mean, a lot of them are retreads, let's be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a never-ending cycle of coaches. But he's the most qualified out there that's unemployed right now. But I think HB and company is just gonna see how things are gonna turn out by end of season. But yeah, very disappointing. We can be explicit on this channel, right?
Yeah, we don't get monetized.
Yeah, well, so I don't have a.
Which is a great reminder, Planeteers. If you like this show, check out the description. You can buy us a beer. That helps us because we don't get a nickel from this YouTube stuff.
That's true. And hey, by the way, cool new feature from Buy Me a Coffee is that you can now support us monthly. There you go.
You buying us and getting us beers bought monthly. That would be impressive. Well, regardless, Suns fans, there's going to be a lot of drinking moving forward with this team. It was painful. To me, it's kind of like, where do I want to start? We had all of our weapons. Everyone's healthy.
Excuses.
This was supposed to be a team that maybe was not a championship favorite, but could compete for one. And playing against the Spurs without Wemby means their strongest offensive weapon, De'Aaron Fox, that we just basically have to shut down one guy. And that was pretty much it. De'Aaron Fox had 26 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. The next best player was Keldon Johnson, I guess, coming off the bench, chipping in 15. Julian Champagne, 15 points. Champagne, thank you. Devin Vassell only had 13. Chris Paul had 13. Jeremy Sohan, 12 points. It was not an impressive, well, I'll put it this way. Everyone was shooting very efficiently, over 47%, overall, over 36% from three. But I don't know. I thought we knew how to guard Chris Paul at this point. I thought that you knew he would run out of gas at some point. He still got up 10 shots. He was 3 of 8 from three. Old man Chris Paul.
8 attempts from three, right?
Continuously said, I'm okay with the Beal trade because we saw that Paul was at the end of his career. I don't know. Maybe he's fine. Maybe he just needs to be extremely limited. And he wasn't even limited. He played 32 minutes. He seemed fine out there.
He wasn't making those shots that he did against the Dallas Mavericks in that playoff loss.
That's true. That's true. But he did become the second overall leader in steals, getting 2 steals against the Suns. He had 10 assists, 5 rebounds, 13 points on 4 of 10 shooting.
Chris Paul things.
I feel like the point god, baby. I feel like the point god is still knows where to keep the secret stash. So he's able to survive that second half. Something the Suns are not able to do. We were getting, I don't know, blown out might be too strong of a word. It never got too far away, but it stayed far enough away to where I was like, what is happening? Why aren't we closing the gap? We were down 10 at the end of one. We closed the gap a little bit going into half, and I thought, okay, down 6. We'll come back. It's going to be fine. We're just slow starting today. No, we ended up going down 15 going into the fourth.
They actually took the leads.
Momentarily, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were up like 1 or something. It was, and okay, so let's stick on Coach Bud, let's stick with him for a moment because let's check out our lineups here for a second. Nick Richards, starting center for the Phoenix Suns, acquired because Coach Bud could not have a relationship with Yusuf Nurkic. I'm still not quite sure. But we had a starting caliber center. You might not like Yusuf Nurkic. You might say, God, the guy doesn't dunk. Why can't he finish inside better? His 3-point shot needs work. He's a big body that could rebound and guard inside. We could not maintain that relationship. We lost control of the relationship, and we moved him to the bench. He didn't like that. He sulked. We moved him out. We got Nick Richards. All right, the new Nick Richards, a guy that can dunk, can block shots, can be an interior threat. Played a solid 8 minutes and 48 seconds. Did not see a second in the second half as the Sun, and he finished with 3 points and 6 rebounds. He basically played the first quarter and was done.
Maybe auditioning for his next team. That's
what I don't know. Does Coach Bud know that we traded for this guy on purpose? That it was like, hey, Bud, okay, you messed things up with Nurkic or whatever it is. Maybe it's on Nurk too. Some of it has to be, right? It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And then here's Nick Richards, and Bud's like, now where's Mason Plumlee? Bring me back my plum dog. I'm imagining that all of a sudden that Coach Bud sounds like Jabba the Hutt instead. So, of course, Plumlee gets over 17 minutes in this game, finishing with a amazing 2 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is happening here? And look at this. Look what Michael's sharing with us. Did you see the Nurkic box score with the Charlotte Hornets? 10.7 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks in 19 minutes. We were never anti-Nurk on this show. We might have gotten down on him a little bit, but like we were never like, he's terrible, he's trash, bench. We were like,
get him the fuck out of here.
He's average. You will never have elite play at all 5 positions. Even the Thunder have above average players and some elite players. Like you can't expect that you're going to dominate every position. We have 3 like super players in theory. It's not theory. Not anymore. But yeah, Yusuf Nurkic going out there, dang near getting a triple-double for the lowly Charlotte Hornets in less than 20 minutes. Thank you, Michael P, for that. Thank you. Now I'm more upset.
Be the Lakers, by the way.
He hates centers is now what I'm coming up with. He liked Brook Lopez because Brook does not rebound, and Brook's offensive talent seems to be go in the corner and shoot threes. That's what he wants. He doesn't get that with any of these centers, so he's just like, you know what, Mason Plumlee.
I don't know what the obsession is. It's just like Monty Williams with Landry Shamet.
Exactly. This is a Landry Shamet is sleeping with the coach's daughter. The plum dog is he's hounding around. I don't know if Coach Bud has daughters. Maybe he's got nieces. Maybe he's just got cousins. Either way, it's He's in the family. I feel like that it's got to be that, right?
Oh my goodness. I don't know, man. The Suns have had coaches with in history like obsession with I don't want to say white guys, but white guys. You had Frank Vogel with who's that guy? Uh, Drew Eubanks.
Oh yeah,
Let's say. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
and Monty had
What's going
what?
on?
Jock Landale.
Well, Jacques
I
was
would take Jock back in a
decent.
second now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
would take
would.
Jock back in a second. Yeah, here we go. Darth Void is in now. Now you can tell we're live on Twitter. Bud hates centers as much as Jake loves Patrick Ewing. Absolutely.
Absolutely true.
Absolutely. Bring back Patrick Ewing. Bring him back into the league. Bring him to the Suns. I would rather see him attempt to do anything with this team for the rest of the year than to continue to watch what has become a clown show. How much talent is on this team that like, and we talked about this multiple times. The bench this year is better than the bench last year. I don't think
For
anyone
sure.
disagrees with the amount of individual talent that is on this team being better than last year. Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal are coming off the bench for you, and Plumlee. But let's go back to another questionable Bud call. That's what we need. We need a drop that's like, what? What's Bud doing now? Actually, yeah. If I saw, let me see. What can we do here? Let's touch on this. How about Ryan Dunn? Ryan Dunn was invited to the All-Star game as a rising star.
Yeah, replacement.
And he did pretty well to get there, right? He has been an amazing find for the Phoenix Suns to get so late in the first round. Known for his defense, not really his offense, but he was better offensively to start the season than I think any of us expected. 20 seconds he was played in this game when we could not stop De'Aaron Fox from like slowly choking us out at the end of the game. Every time we close that gap, there's Spurs like, give Fox, he'll knock in a bucket. Royce couldn't stay on him. Grayson couldn't stay on him. And those guys are above average defenders. But, I saw somebody make a good point the other day, and I think it was pretty true. You can be a very good perimeter defender, but that is not as impactful maybe as being like, if you're a great interior defender, I feel like you can impact the game more because you're less on one guy and you're just kind of around the basket. Whereas perimeter, you're chasing somebody and they're screening you off of that guy constantly. So you could have a point of attack defender, but if all the other players are just not playing defense, which is what it felt like in that fourth quarter at the end, it doesn't matter. Grayson could play his heart out. Royce could play his heart out. But if Kevin Durant's not making that rotation and Bismack Biyombo's getting a dunk because he's not closing in, or Booker's not checking to see where his guy's at, it was just an impressive. I don't know. Is it lack of hustle? Is it does this team just not care? I mean, okay, yeah. Break it down for me. Why did we not play defense?
It's as simple as heart, man. They lack heart playing defense. I don't know if they have tapped out already. I mean, it's a losing season. The season's a lost cause. But
we are currently out of the play-in. We can claw our way back in because the Spurs did lose Wemby for the rest of the year, and hopefully he gets well and comes back strong. He's chasing us. The Trailblazers and Jazz and Pelicans are behind us. They're not going to try and chase us down, but we have to pass Sacramento or Golden State or Dallas or Minnesota at this point. Minnesota slipped down to the play. Oh yeah, I guess 7th. Okay. Sorry, I was surprised by that for a second.
But what do we expect? From a team that didn't even make any moves at the deadline. I mean, it's just going to be the same way as the first half of the season. So I'm not getting my hopes up for anything. If they improve, they improve. Good job. But the season's a lost cause already.
Yeah, it feels like it. Uh,
Michael
let me
Evans,
ask you
thank
this
you.
then. Okay,
No
so
defense, no heart, no identity.
yeah,
Gosh.
I mean, we were outshot. We're supposed to have this elite offense. Spurs shot a better percentage than we did. I get it if we're not going to be great defensively all the time. You have to be able to be strong offensively. And we just weren't seeing it. Let's see. Oh, this is what I've been looking for, and I apologize. Let's see. Let me pull him up. And while I look to pull this up, let me ask you this question because I asked it the other day. Who is more disappointing to you so far of the last three coaches? Bud, Monty, and Vogel. Who disappoints you the most and why?
The current coach. He's known
Coach Bud. All
for
right. So why?
yeah. He's known for his offense, and he has three guys who are super scorers but couldn't you know he couldn't um he couldn't use those. I mean, there is a lack of execution, or I don't know what it is, but he's not able to take advantage of those abilities that these three have. They don't have cohesion or anything. It's just literally play random.
That's what it feels like. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, it's becoming more like not so much just the play random part, but it's just like, I still remember when he first got introduced and he was kind of talking about like, oh, I took a year away from the game, went
Yeah.
through some stuff. I'm excited to be back and all this stuff, man. I don't know if he is. I don't know if like he came back and maybe that was the wrong thing for him to do mentally. And maybe he should have just sat back and said, you know what? I won an NBA championship as a coach.
Yeah.
I think he's newly married. Go enjoy that life, man. Those millions of dollars, and let people buy you drinks for in Milwaukee when you get there. Maybe that's the problem. He just didn't want to retire in Milwaukee. He wanted to be like, oh, I want to walk around Scottsdale, and have people buy me drinks there. But like at this point, I'm with you. I'm more disappointed in Bud. Which is interesting because I don't think I was all that excited when we hired Bud initially. Not just because I thought we should have hired Patrick Ewing. But legitimately, I was like, to me, I thought like, oh, okay, we have Frank Vogel, NBA championship winning coach with the Lakers. He had those good teams with the Pacers. I was excited about Vogel working with Ayton because he had a history of kind of working with
Roy Hibbert.
But also like, he had that rotation of like Dwight Howard and JaVale
Howard.
McGee as
Yes.
like the centers for the Lakers but he found ways to make them work. And then I remember like, oh, maybe he's just not holding these guys accountable as much as he should. I still remember Beal getting subbed out after having that trash final, game 4, I think, in the playoffs last year. And Vogel had his hand out, and Beal wanted nothing to do with him. And he runs back to go sit on the bench. And that's kind of when people are like, Vogel's done. Team's off of him. I mean, Vogel had the team playing, I don't know if they were playing defense. They played maybe a little slower on offense, which made the defense look a little bit better and under control. To me, Bud basically got everything he wanted. He got more money than Vogel. A nice long contract.
He's coaching his favorite team.
Exactly. Yeah. He knew who his players were coming in. Vogel was like, DeAndre Ayton, huh? And then like before the season started, bye. See you, DeAndre Ayton. Now take Nasir Little, Grayson Allen, and Yusuf Nurkic and make them work, Vogel. Oh, that's some big pieces to swap out. Okay. Try and adjust to. So no, at this point, I say Vogel had a tougher time. I put more blame on Bud, and I put some blame on Monty too, just because, I don't know what our coaches just hate centers. They hate the starting centers. That's what I'm learning. How that relationship fell apart with DeAndre Ayton is a bummer.
I have no idea.
Yeah, and granted, I'm not one of these, sycophants that's just like DeAndre Ayton would have made so much of a difference. He's not. He's not making a big difference in Portland.
That's just recency bias. Yeah,
exactly. He beat us. The last couple games, so good for DeAndre. But like, he's not a 20-point a game, 10 rebound guy, and that's a bummer because that's really what I wanted. I thought we were going to have like a Shaq Kobe type situation with natural homegrown talent with a Booker and an Ayton. It just never panned out that way. So it was a bummer to see that happen. And I think I saw something. I think Brightside tweeted it out. Actually, it was about the former Suns owner, who I'm blanking, Jerry Colangelo.
Jerry Colangelo.
Yeah, had mentioned basically that this is just growing pains for Matt Ishbia, and that's kind of where I'm at. It's just that Kevin Durant had a good game by metrics. I think he fell asleep a few times on defense, but hey, 22 points on 9 of 13 shooting. It's funny because when I watch him, I'm like, oh, that was a bad defensive play. Oh, you got to do better than that, Kevin. And then I look at the box score and I'm like, God dang, he was efficient scoring. So I don't know. It's now I feel. Remember when we used to complain about DeAndre Ayton's lack of hustle? I feel like that's where I'm at with Kevin Durant, except Durant's like 10 years older. So I'm like, come on, old man, chase after it. Yeah, it's
the thing
Kevin
is
Durant,
that KD's compensating with his scoring. You can't really expect the guy at that age to do everything on both ends, right? So it's up to the rest of the players to do the other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at this box score again. It's impressive. We were led on the night by Royce O'Neal. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a shout out against Royce. Royce was hot from 3, 6 of 12. He was 10 of 16 overall for 27 points. Booker had the rough game, 4 of 14. He did have 8 assists, but he had 4 turnovers, 17 points. I like that he tried to get himself to the line. He got there and was 7 of 8. Tyus Jones is still starting. He was 1 of 9, 3 assists, 0 turnovers. I didn't really notice it until the last handful of games, but the Suns Jam guys have been talking about it. They've basically told Tyus Jones to become a shooting guard. Like, you can bring the ball up, but you're not initiating the offense. That's going to be Booker. That's going to be Durant. You just go get yourself open for a 3. And really not even get yourself open. Wait for one Booker or Durant to drive, try and get something, and then just be there and take a shot. He's an undersized point guard. He's an even more undersized shooting guard. He's exposed on defense a lot. His biggest benefit, we were just talking with Durant might have had some mental lapses, bad turnovers, and bad defensive plays, but he's very efficient offensively scoring. Tyus is very efficient initiating offense.
Yeah.
We basically decided to continue to start him, but tell him, do not do the things that you're very good at. And that's why I don't understand why we have not reverted back to start Bradley Beal. And honestly, at this point, since the season feels like, even if we went on a little mini run here and got into the plan, that it's over. I'd rather try and demo Bradley Beal is still good, because I feel like the longer he comes off the bench, the more teams are going to be like, you're going to have to trade so much to take his contract.
Yeah. And, if you're going to keep the guy anyway, why not just play him at the starting 5? Maybe he can win you some games on that position. But the thing on Tyus Jones is that, he's good in certain, or coming off the bench, he's going to be solid at that role. And, I know they have promised him the starting role, but, a lot of guys promised, women that they'll walk them down the aisle, or not really walk them down the aisle, but meet them at the altar and marry them. So I'm not sure why, they haven't made that change yet.
That's funny. Have you walked down the aisle yet?
I'm actually about to ask you something.
I feel like somebody told you this, and then you just remember being told this recently. Like, I'll find somebody else to take me and meet me down the end of the aisle. That's a good point. I did want to share this. This was it's funny. I feel like this year I've seen more about Suns media refusing to ask the tough questions, whether it's be Gerald Bourguet, who we've had on this show, or some of the other Suns podcasters who have had opportunities to ask questions. So I thought this was interesting. Dwayne Rankin of Arizona Republic, right? Arizona Central, did ask some questions of Coach Bud. Let's take a look at it. And go.
What was going on defensively tonight?
A lot of those guys played well. I think a little bit of penetration. Fox playmaking, Chris Paul playmaking, a couple threes behind the pick and roll. Some tough shots, some open shots. They played well. Credit to those guys.
Curious defensively, you have Ryan, you only played him 20 seconds. Then you didn't play Nick in the second half. He could be a rim protector. Why the limit on them as far as minutes tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we mapped out a 9-man rotation, and then we tightened it from there. So I think we went with the guys that we thought both ends of the court. We got to be able to make plays defensively, offensively. We were able to close it. We made some runs. We had some good stretches, but again, not enough of them.
Obviously, what was going on?
Are you talking? Shut up, Richard.
That's what I felt like watching that.
Are you talking? Shut up, Richard.
What did Bud say there? Dwayne calls him out. It's like, you have a rim protector, Nick Richards. You have Ryan Dunn, who's known for his defense. De'Aaron Fox, as you point out, was crushing you. Chris Paul was running a great offense. Why didn't you play him? Yeah, we made some runs. We did some stuff. We had an idea. We had a rotation. Then we tightened that rotation. And
Are you talking? Shut up, Richard.
I mean, why are you tightening up rotations when you're out of the plan?
thank you. Yes. Yeah. We're trying to tighten up rotations. Why? Okay. If you're tightening up rotations, start with Tyus Jones. Start with Mason Plumlee. Start with two guys that are on minimum contracts that are not going to be back next year. At this point, I don't know. It's like, was there some sort of deal with the devil made? Like Tyus Jones, if you come here on a minimum contract, we will let you start. And there's no way we would ever renege on that decision. You can play terribly. We can put you in a position to play terribly, and we will continue to start you because you deserve that. Like, kudos Matt Ishbia for being an honest broker, I guess, in that regard. But to steal from Fast and the Furious, because I rewatched that the other day, winning is winning. That's what I want to do. I don't care how you do it, just win. And it's so embarrassing. So god dang. This was the turning point for me with this season. We had a terrible game against a Luka Doncic-less Dallas Mavericks, right after Christmas, I think. Right before Christmas, we had a shellacking by the Denver Nuggets before we got some revenge on them. To me, going up against a Spurs team that's below us in the standings without Wemby and losing by 11 when we're at full strength, worst game of the season for me.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of candidates for the worst game of the season.
Yeah.
And that's been the story of the Suns this season. Yeah. And to Michael Evans, yes. Tyus Jones, to no fault of his own, he's a solid player, but it's just that, you don't start him because he gets exposed on the defensive side a lot. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go off cam for a moment.
No, you go off camera for a sec if you need. I'm going to share something else. Speaking about the cojones of the Suns media lately, pulling up John Gambadoro of 98.7, and he had some winning tweets. I guess, I should probably let you guys see him. Here we go. So John Gambadoro during the game, absolutely inexcusable loss. How the Suns can get 8 days off, come back with everyone healthy, and lose to a Spurs team that is not only behind them in the standings, but without their best player is mind-boggling. D-Book was a no-show, as was the defense. And I actually did get a kick out of this when somebody said, damn, so disrespectful to Book. Oh, that's right. We can never criticize Book. He never plays bad or has an off game. Never. He was great tonight. If you don't think he was great, you weren't watching the game. Yeah, that was one. He continues. And another one, like he was my spirit animal after this one. I'm beyond tired of a team that plays no defense sitting Ryan Dunn, the one guy who can play defense the whole game. Help me make sense of this. WTF is Bud doing? He is not watching Fox Drive by Grayson time and time again with, by the way, zero help defense. Memo to Bud, wake up. I think Suns media is pretty good. I don't. What do you think?
That's as hard as Gambo can get, you know.
Yeah.
And
I feel like Dwayne Rankin, basically, because I know it's got to be tough. You're building relationships in the media,
yeah.
And so you want to, coach, could you explain these decisions? Like for Dwayne to basically be like, you have a shot blocker and you didn't play him in the second half, and you have Ryan Dunn, who's known for his defense, and you just point out that you were getting crushed by De'Aaron Fox. Why not try those guys? Is about as nice as you can be in saying, what are you doing? Stop
what
it.
The fuck
what
are you doing? Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Loosely translated.
It wasn't working. It never worked. Got back into the game. Yeah, for a second in the second quarter, you were back in the game. Anyway, and I don't know if you remember this. Sorry, this is kind of just a segmented rant episode as we continue to build through it.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if you remember this, Kevin. But you were kind of excited to see this guy continue to blossom for a while.
It's Bull.
Yeah, Bull was hot. He was hot for a few games there, that we all lost, but he was looking good, man. In the starting lineup, I was about ready to have to go on my annual apology tour for Bull. In this game, he had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block in just under 10 minutes.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, no, it was. So, but it leads to the question that I had for Bud.
Are you talking? Shut up, Richard.
Bud, explain to me why you aren't playing these people. If we're going to tighten rotation, I don't even know how he tightened these rotations. He basically tried to play, I would say, like a 7-man rotation in the end. It wasn't even an 8-man. He played Dunn 20 seconds, Bull less than 10. And Nick Richards less than 10. So yeah,
maybe because Ty Washington did not play, that already means to him that he tightened his rotations. I don't know, Ty. Was he in the G League team?
He did like a little Ty for a little moment too long. Well, and I don't know if you know this, but we did trade for another guy from the Charlotte Hornets, Vasily Micic. Yeah,
Micic.
He has not played yet since he's arrived here. Yusuf Nurkic is trying to get a triple-double in Charlotte for a terrible Charlotte Hornets team. We don't have any room for Micic, for Vasily to even try anything. Not saying it would work. I don't think he's a good player, but I don't understand what is happening here. I guess, well, maybe the thought was, hey, we need to, go balls to the wall, so to speak. Like, I'm not going to rest these guys, 32 minutes or just have them only play 32. We're going to play our best players as long as they can play on the court because we need to collect wins and we need to worry less about, are they fresh? We first need to get into the playoffs. Maybe that's the theory. I don't know. I don't like looking at this box score either. Hey, Bradley Beal had a good game. He was 8 of 14.
Yeah,
Way
19.
to go, Bradley.
Yeah.
Let me give him his drop. Yeah.
Hi, my name is. My name is. My name is.
You know, yeah. He had 19 points, 8 of 14 shooting, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnovers. Kevin, hot question coming in here. Can you win games if Bradley Beal's your leading rebounder? Do you think?
No, it's
No.
the same question as if KD is your leading shot blocker. Do you consider your team elite? I'd say no.
Well, let me
You're on
also
mute.
ask you this. So Bud has tried this lineup a few times. What's that?
I thought you were on mute. It's just my internet is like lagging.
Oh.
So my bad.
Okay. Well, yeah. So let me ask you this. So the Suns have Nick Richards, we have Mason Plumlee, and we have Oso Ighodaro, and we have Bol. Playing Kevin Durant at the 5. Do you like this anymore? Just so you know, Kevin Durant had 5 rebounds in this game. When Kevin Durant is in the game as the center, we get crushed on boards. And I feel like people usually give him a pass. It's like, well, you know, but it's true. He's going up against people like Bismack Biyombo, who can push him around because Bismack's built like a tank. Jeremy Sohan is a bigger guy. Why are we not playing when we need a rebound and we keep giving De'Aaron Fox more opportunities to put the ball in the basket? I don't think this whole gang rebounding situation that we've been told is we need to do for, like, I feel like the last 5 to 10 years is working. Can we get somebody that can rebound the ball?
They don't. This is going back to the Trailblazers game where the Suns had opportunities to win the game at the end of regulation. Oh my goodness!
I like that she can hear you talking, so then she wants to talk louder.
This is disaster. But yeah, just going back to my point, it's these rotations in the center spot doesn't really make sense. You go for Plumlee over Nick Richards. You have Oso Ighodaro just rotting in the bench where he could help the team. And I'm gonna go off cam once again.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, Planeteers. It was a rough one. Well, let's see. What else do I want to be able to cover in this tragedy of a game? Yeah. Maybe not fun. No, we're good, Void. I appreciate it. I think we're going to be ending early today anyway. Unless you guys unless you want to go on a rant, you're more than welcome to. But I'll mention this too real quick. That the Suns, you know, to me, it seems like there's just so much going on there, a lack of heart even. Like, I just don't think you can have Kevin Durant play center so many minutes. Like, in a moment, if the other team is playing small, but I don't even know if to me, that's break glass in case of an emergency situation. So to me, it just, I don't like seeing it. When he's in there, I feel like we're like, because then it's like Royce O'Neal, the power forward, books out there deal. Like, I get that Durant is tall, but if you don't have, sorry, I'm going everywhere with this, not making my point. Let me try it again. Kevin Durant played phenomenal at the 3 position the other day when Bol was playing at the 4. That's the vibe I took out of it. So that's why I'd like to see a little bit more. It would be something like that. Is keep another big out there with Kevin Durant, so we're not totally reliant on him to try and get the job done. That's the take I've got on that. Let's see here. But let's see. It's, we there's not going to be a lot to celebrate this week. So let's just go into the boom room and drink our pain away. But let's play the one with the music. Why do I have the one without the music being available? Let's try this.
What's the name of that nightclub of yours again?
You talking about the boom boom room?
Yeah, the Boom Boom Room. That's it. Funky. Yeah. Funky. Yeah. Funky. Yeah. Funky. Yeah.
Don't peer pressure people into drinking. I'm not peer pressuring. The Suns are peer pressuring. And that's the difference here. So Kevin, another question for you. Is there any hope left in this season?
No. That's as fast as we
Thank you. All right. That's it. We are ending early. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I would like to apologize for me going off cam every now and then. My daughter, I'm a single dad right now, as her mother sleeps through the night. So
Hey, there you go. Just tell her, hey, you knock it off, or you give her something to cry about. Something that did not work when my father used to say it when I was a toddler.
She just wanted the biscuits. But yeah, I'm not seeing any hope. I think that's how low I am, with the Suns team this year. So better luck next time.
Did you have any? Well, yeah, I guess we could do this. Let me ask you. Who is your Shazam player of the game? Because we only had one game this week, so your Shazam player of the week. Who was it?
Katie's just gonna get his numbers, but so I'm gonna go with Royce. Rolls-Royce helping out the offense department with his new career high of 27 points the last outing. So I'm gonna go with him.
Okay. Let's see.
And no, I did not get a wedding invite.
Kevin, now that you're live on air, I've got a question for you. What are you doing May 3rd?
Maybe in Iowa.
Oh, there it is. And if you don't make it now, you definitely have to get me a gift. That is a locked-in deal. That is recorded. The Planeteers saw it. That is the day I do. Yes. Well, I'm going to give my Shazam player of the week to Grayson Allen, which might be kind of an odd take. He had only 11 points on 3 of 10 shooting. But to me, it felt like Grayson cared in this game. He, made a tough play where he stripped De'Aaron Fox, and then he got tripped himself, which was a flagrant one. I thought should have been elevated a little bit more. But he was knocking down a couple of important threes, even though he missed a handful as well. That's what I want to see at this point through the rest of the season. Play the guys that actually want to play. And I'll be honest, I don't know how many players we have that want to. I knew it. I knew they were going to hate my take. This Voida just loathes this take. He liked him for a minute, and then, he lost him. His interest in supporting him. But yes, Grayson can't do it all himself. There has to be a rotation. You can't just play Grayson Allen on De'Aaron Fox one-on-one and hope to survive. That is a Coach Bud problem, and that is a defensive scheme problem. Coach Fizdale is supposedly this defensive guy. I've yet to see it. So this, what do you want to see for the rest of the year besides try and get better?
More runs for Ryan Dunn, definitely, and I'd like to see more. I'd like to see less Tyus Jones, if we're being honest. Yeah,
I'd like to see less Tyus. I'd like to see Beal back in the starting lineup.
Yes.
Starting with Book. I would like to see Oso Ighodaro take all of Plumlee's minutes. I don't want to see any more Plumlee. I know what we have in him. He is if we have to run out a third center, we will be one of the best teams in the league with Mason Plumlee as our third center. He should not be playing anymore. He should not be your backup. He should not be your starter. I'm over Mason Plumlee. He's not bad. He's just not good. It's so much is the vibe I get from him right now, and just watching him play. So play Nick Richards more. Try Oso. Try Ryan Dunn. We don't get anything for tanking. That's the sad fact of it. So play your best players as many minutes as possible, but play the guys that actually will be here next year minutes to try and develop them. Oso and Ryan Dunn being those top two guys. I would also say, keep going. Royce and Grayson Allen getting them minutes. Tyus can come off the bench, though. That's what I'd like to see. I would like to see Vasily Micic try something. I know he's the rumor is he's probably going to be sent to Europe. Let the guy touch the court for one game and show me how terrible he is. I only kind of read about him. I didn't watch a lot of Charlotte Hornets games. So show me how bad he is. Is Cody Martin? Yeah, okay, Cody Martin. They still list as injured.
Yeah, I got a question about you about him to you. So since there's lack of interest as to what the Suns are doing, what is the difference between the sports hernia and the regular hernia? We gotta go there. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, what's the difference between, the flu where Jordan can play through it and the flu where Yusuf Nurkic misses 2 weeks and then has to go through reconditioning training? I think the difference is we want this person to play versus we don't. And that's it. I could be totally wrong, though. But
it's the same. Yeah.
Was there anything else you want to talk about for this show?
Yeah. Well, I told you at the backstage that I wanted to do a quick rant, but
go for it.
I don't want to go there because
Rant
I
away.
might get roasted in the chat. I don't want to do that.
I don't know if you've noticed with this group of Planeteers, but they roast you regardless.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna keep it to myself. What I'm gonna say is read.
You have no marbles.
You have no marbles, sir. We're just gonna leave it right there on that one. Unless you still want to come back in. Yeah. Oh, here we go. See, now they're don't be a pussy, Kev. And now I need to hear this.
John, I'm naturally a pussy, so I'm not taking.
And right there, I feel like that's going to be. I should clip that and put that up as a short.
My goodness. So says Jay. I'm gonna tell you probably on a DM. But to everyone who's wondering, just read what Matthew Leasley had written. I believe this was just published today. That's basically where I'm at. That's basically what my rant is about.
So you're saying
I am bushy.
Leasley,
See, I am bushy. I'm literally bushy.
So Matthew Lissy had an article put up on Bright Side of the Sun. You feel like he was writing down all of your thoughts. What's the quick 10-second takeaway? What was your going to be about?
Do you think Devin Booker's a 1A?
Oh, ooh, not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, is Booker. So yeah, I see the article. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant might not be the answer for Phoenix. Is the article by Matthew Lissy on Bright Side of the Sun. Right now, it's funny. I thought Booker was the leader of this team, and yeah, I agree with Voida. Booker is a Robin, not a Batman. I would say Durant is also a Robin. We have two Robins. and Bradley Beal is Alfred. We don't have that leader, and that's the problem with it. There's nobody calling anything out, and it's just chill and ball, man. It's just chill and ball, and that's the problem. I would love for Booker to take this next step. I feel like he was doing that before Kevin Durant arrived. Am I way off with that?
That's mostly CP3's influence
Exactly.
on it.
It was more CP3, but I thought Booker had taken a half step that direction. Maybe it's because Paul was holding him accountable, and so he
Exactly.
thought. I still remember who was that random player that lasted half the season with us last year, turned the ball over and bucket on the other end. Booker runs back, goes, "Is that how you do it? You turn it over and you don't run back on defense?" Like that was
Utah.
the last bit of Devin Booker trying to hold his team accountable.
And I remember there's one comment of last Super Duper Megapod that we did after getting swept by the Timberwolves, and John Boyda highlighted that it's mostly because of the lackadaisical approach of KD that's affecting Booker's overall attitude on the court. So holds truth till this day.
Ooh. Yeah. Now this is a good question. Considering the Suns are lost for a long time in the future, can we start planning an international bachelor party for Jake? I am into this. Let's do it. First things first, we got to get Kevin to Iowa. So he's going to travel internationally here, and then we'll go down to Chile. Jake's not allowed to have friends. So says Jay. Just likes to really hoard me to himself. But I don't know. If you could go anywhere in the world to party, Kev, where would it be? Since your wife is sleeping, you can say it out loud.
Iowa. No place like Iowa. So I'm gonna start a GoFundMe campaign, just like what Sausage J have indicated in the pod, and I'm gonna share it to you guys later on.
Are you talking?
Shut up, Richard.
And you took yourself off the thing. Okay, that was good. Well, guys, we'll end it early today. We were late getting started, but it's a shorter podcast today. Quick look ahead. We're going to be busy. We got a lot of games actually to talk about. That's at least the one benefit to watching this team, is we'll actually have some more content next week as we play the Bulls today in Chicago. A little short road trip here, I guess. Chicago Bulls game at Toronto, then at Memphis, and then we've got 2 games at home back-to-back against the New Orleans Pelicans. So actually, so 4 out of 5 teams, the best of the teams we're playing is tonight. Chicago Bulls are 22-34, Raptors 17-39, Memphis Grizzlies 37-19, and then the Pelicans 13-43. I don't know if Kevin is able to come back, but Kevin, do you want to tell me what we're going to do in that 5-game streak before we go? Guessing he's not. I'm guessing he's going to take care of his daughter. Okay, my prediction is we will go. Oh, no, you're back. Did you hear anything I said? Oh, no, you didn't have your headphones probably. Okay. I'll give you the super short version. 5 games coming up. Bulls, Raptors, Grizzlies, 2 games against the Pelicans, predictions, and where can people find you?
So how many games in total?
5 total.
5 total. I'm going 2 and 3.
2 and 3. All right.
And you guys can find me at I'm Kevin PS. That's it.
All right. Oh, or they can find you in Iowa on May 3rd.
Yes.
That's really going to be the exciting thing. You can find me at Fallen Founder. I am so sad with this team right now that I'm going to say, we're going to go 1-4. I'm with Michael on this. We're going to go 1. I don't know. Like I either want somebody to just like give us a wake up call that forces something to shift, or we start running the table. Either one. But this is not accurate. This is fake news. Fake news. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jake, a.k.a. Fallen Founder. We'll see you next week with something to talk about.
Yeah.
wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay with us as the Suns get set to shine here on their home court.
Here's Perry. Cigar Hurd. Here's the jump shot. Good! It's good!
Al McCoy with you courtside. Bumped up a three.
Shazam! He ties it. Hey, D.A. Al and Tim up here.
happy birthday!
Right. Yeah.
I know it's the moment. Happy birthday, baby!
Here's Cameron Payne out on top. Durant, three-pointer straight away.
Shazam! I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone in this arena this afternoon, to all of those that are watching and listening on radio and TV. Thank you for allowing me to tell the story of the Suns for 51 great years.
That pretty much wraps things up here. And for one last time, this is Al McCoy saying thanks for being there. Thanks for being with us tonight. And from the Footprint Center here in downtown Phoenix, we'll just say so long for now.